The last couple NHL trade deadlines, the New York Rangers have gone out there and acquired some big pieces like Patrick Kane, Tarasenko, Andrew Kopp, Frank Vatrano, some other guys as well. But for the most part, they have gone out there and gotten some top six forwards, or at least some very good players. And one guy who they could target at this year's deadline to add in another top six forward, a star-level player, is Elias Lindholm, who I think would be a great add for the Rangers. Obviously, a very talented player, a very well-rounded offensively, defensively. He's just great in all zones. He's a very great player overall. And yes, he's going to cost a decent amount. There's going to be a lot of teams looking to acquire him. The Avalanche have been one of the big teams rumored after him because they need some center depth and just add some more firepower up there. So I'm sure they're going to be heavily interested in going after Lindholm. And the fact that he is on the last year of his contract with a $4.85 million cap hit, this is easily a movable contract to go anywhere if it is 50% retained. Pretty much any contending team can probably open up, a little over $2.5 million to bring in a guy like Elias Lindholm. So the Rangers could nearly trade away Kakko and then have pretty much the exact room open for a guy like Lindholm. So maybe a Kakko is involved in this deal. Who knows? Obviously, I'm just kind of speculating here, but this is a possibility of where Kakko could be moved out to open up pretty much the exact amount of cap space that we need to bring in a guy like Lindholm. So that could work out there. Maybe he's a part of this deal. And if you're sending Kakko in this deal, you're probably not having to give up too much else. Maybe, a conditional second-round pick that could turn into a first if the Rangers make the Cup final or something like that. So there definitely is a possibility where the Rangers can bring in Lindholm and really not have to worry about the cap situation at all, because you'd be sending out Kakko and then Lindholm, 50% retained, is pretty much nearly exactly what Kakko was making. So that is definitely a possibility there to open up the room to bring in a guy like Lindholm. So Kakko could be on the way out if Lindholm is definitely a realistic possibility for the Rangers. So we'll see what happens. But taking a look at the last couple of deadlines, we have seen the Rangers go after some star-level guys, some top six forwards, some very talented players like Tarasenko, Kane. Obviously, the one before that, we saw Kopp, Vatrano. Yes, those guys might not be the most star-caliber guys, the biggest names in the market, but they're still very good middle six guys who can be second-liners. So those were obviously great adds for the Rangers. I think they're going to look to do something like that again, add in some very good talent. Now, maybe they don't. Maybe they want to keep Kakko and Hedl around for the longer term, and they want to have them back, and they can be the kind of trade deadline ads. Obviously, right now, they missed a ton of time, so they're pretty much just be deadline ads as well, just like Lindholm would be. So maybe they'd just rather wait until Hedl and Kakko are fully healthy and ready to go again later on in the season. So there's a lot of factors that go into this and whether or not the Rangers actually do end up trading for a guy like Lindholm. And with how good the Rangers have been so far this season, being the pretty much best team in the entire NHL, as well as the goaltending we have, the D core, the forward core, the depth, I think adding in a guy like Lindholm plus another defensive defenseman kind of thing could be the perfect move at the deadline to really put this team over the top and potentially finally get us back to the Stanley Cup final and back to winning a cup for the first time in a very long time. The first time it would be in my entire lifetime, which would be very cool to see. And then taking a look here at what some lines could potentially look like if we do add in Lindholm. The top line could be Kreider, Zibanejad, and then Lindholm on that right wing there on the top line if you want to have him on the wing, or if you want to have him at the main spot he's best at, which is obviously center. You could have Zibanejad, Trocheck, then Lindholm, and then Bonino, which would be some fantastic center depth, as well as potentially having Hedl coming back at some point as well, who could go on the wing, and then if injuries happen, you obviously have him as a center as well. So Rangers right now, adding in Lindholm would have some crazy good center depth, especially with Hedl coming back at some point. So hopefully that happens. Hopefully we make this trade and hopefully something gets done, because adding Lindholm could be absolutely fantastic for this team and could truly put the Rangers over the top as well. And taking a look here at his point total so far this season, he has 8 goals, 15 assists, 23 points. In his most recent game, he had a goal and 2 assists against the Anaheim Ducks in last night's game. So he's obviously a great player. He's a guy who is consistently going to put up 60 to kind of 80 points, something around there. He's not going to be a 90, 95 point kind of guy, but he can be a 60 to about a point per game type player. And you take a look at what he did last year with the Flames as well, had 80 games played, 22 goals, 42 assists, 64 points. The year before that with the Flames, had 82 games played, 82 points. So he's obviously a great player. He can be, like I said, that 60 to a kind of a point per game type player. He's a great two-way forward. Obviously, defensively has been pretty good. Last year, finished 10th in Selke voting. The year before that, finished 2nd. And then way back in 19-20, he would finish 33rd. And then in 18-19, he finished 10th as well. So he's obviously a great two-way forward, good in all ends of the ice, and is just an overall great player. Would be a fantastic add for the Rangers and could truly put this team over the top. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please smash the like button. Don't forget to comment down below you guys' thoughts on the Rangers potentially trading for Elias Lindholm at this year's NHL trade deadline. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for daily New York Rangers content.